I'm privileged to be joined by Minister Stojkovski to share how she is changing conversation into action. Minister Stojkovski, I might pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Zara. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real privilege to be chatting with you today. I'm the Minister here in Western Australia for Child Protection.
First and foremost, what does National Child Protection Week mean to you?
So, child protection is something that is very close to me. It's one of my biggest priorities as Minister for Child Protection. But it also means, for me as a society, child protection should be everyone's responsibility. And so having a week that we highlight that, it's great, but it is everyone's responsibility 365 days a year. But Child Protection Week also gives me the opportunity and our community the opportunity to really thank and highlight the really good work being done by our child protection, child safety practitioners, as we call them now in Western Australia, because these people do some amazing work in some really, really challenging situations.
Yeah, fantastic. I totally resonate, Minister. I think this is really a priority across every day of the year, and it's really up to every Australian to make sure that we're creating environments where children feel safe and heard. So I appreciate that. Moving on to the next question, how do you think adults better protect kids and young people by shifting conversation into action?
So, for me, one of the things I constantly say, both to my team here, to my family, and to the wider sector here in Western Australia, is really about meeting kids where they are. And whether that is physically going and meeting them where they are or meeting them online where they are, I think that's a really important part. Children and children nowadays, probably even more so than when I was a child, they know their minds. They know they're much more aware of things going on around them, and they have opinions about themselves and about their society and about their culture. So we need to respect that, and we actually need to meet them where they are. So part of that is, connecting with them, listening to them, taking on board their suggestions. While we might not be able to enact everything they're asking for, we can absolutely listen to them and take on board things that are important to them.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And finally, Minister, in your role as Minister for Child Protection, what do you do to shift conversation into action?
So I am in the privileged position to actually be a policymaker, somebody who can change policy, who can take the things that I'm hearing from not just from children but from their carers as well, and change that into policy decisions. So for me, it's so I'm only recent into this role since March, and so for me, it's been a bit of a listening moment for the last 6 months, really listening to the things that are impacting on children, not just children in care, but children more broadly, and carers, and really trying to mold and change decisions and policy to reflect the modern kind of society that we're living in. So uh, we've just released today our second phase of consultation on the Working with Children's check. This has been a really important part of our society for nearly 20 years now, I think. I think it started in 2006. And so it needs to evolve. It needs to keep up with community expectations. So for me, I get to be in that privileged position of making those decisions. Yes, we're going to go out to further consultation. And once we have that consultation, once we listen to those voices, what changes need to happen to make it a modern system for Western Australia?
Yeah, thank you so much, Minister. It's been such
Thank
a
you.
privilege to hear you share your journey into shifting conversation to action. I know Western Australia is in good hands.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.